Hey, True Believers. Chris Mack coming at you with a most excellent comic book. This is X-Force number 30, and this is actually a better read than 29. Like, 29 was good, had some very heartfelt moments, really showed the more human side of Shatterstar. But this one, he progresses more, and we really get some great moments of chivalry and heart. So let's go ahead and dive into it. One thing though, I don't understand why in the 90s, I know that was the time, but I don't understand why back in the day, looking at it, why everything was always extreme. I don't know, maybe it's just the times, I'm just old. Anyway, so we open up on something worth fighting for. Now before we get into this, let's talk about who made this book. This is Fabian Nicieza, play-by-play, Tony Daniels, field camera, Conrad Hulridge and Groger doing the ink stuff, Yiannopoulos, title designer, Yavins, spectrum coordinator, Bob Harris, key grip, and Tom DeFalco, best boy. So I like all the little film references there. That's awesome. The print date on this was January 1994. So we open up, and last issue he had to go against Adam X. And here they are just blow for blow. Now I know this seems like a lot of reading, but please listen. It's some very, very well written commentary. It says this is all either of these two men have ever wanted. One is named Shatterstar, a mutant gladiator from another dimension who was born and bred to fight for the entertainment of the masses. The other is known only as Adam X, the Extreme. He does not know much about his past, only that he was raised on another planet, but he knew in his heart that Earth was in almost every sense his home. Now they're fighting each other in a brutal, bloody encounter. They've been given no choice in the matter. Both are prisoners of the delinquent assassin for hire called Arcade. And the only hope the madman has given them for their individual survival requires that each try to kill each other off. So stakes, actions, suspense, right off the cuff in this opening page. And then of course 90s, I do miss these type of pages. But it goes in and talks about how these two men, they found a kindred spirit in one another, and they don't want to kill each other, but they're kind of in this situation where they don't have a choice. And it's just like, even nonetheless, Adam X like, oh, just face the fact that I'm stronger and better than you. Well met, soldier, but it's not sufficient to force a cadre alliance warrior into submission. I'm not a soldier. I've fought against soldiers and armies my entire life. I do not fight. I've never fought because I want to, but rather because I have to. There's the difference. A lot of people, they have to. It's part of their mission, or, time they serve, they have to fight. That's just the way around it. And so you think right off the bat that the fight is over, because Adam X's power apparently is to ignite the electrolytes in your body. It kind of reminds me of the movie Idiocracy, where it's like, Bondo, it's got what plants want. It's got electrolytes. Anyway, enough about that. But you can see that these two men, there's just no way that they're going to go down to one another, because they don't want to die here at the hands of Arcade. And I know people say they don't like Arcade, but I just think, at least in this arc, he reminds me of a crazier Riddler. These are like his murder rooms from Arkham City and Arkham Knight. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And then we, just like the last issue where Shatterstar was forced to fight for that family, you find out that Adam X is in the same way. He has to fight for this woman who's named Winsong. And spoiler alert if you've never read this issue, but you come to find out that this is Shatterstar's wife. He's like, your wife? What? And there's an explanation about all that. It's actually hinges on the entire plot of the story, so make sure to pay attention to that. And this is actually the first appearance of Winsong according to the Marvel wiki, so that's really, really cool. And then we interlude back to Cable, who last issue is feeling that his team has fallen apart and has asked Domino to come back because everyone looked up to her. And then this character here, Tempo, I don't remember her real name, but Tempo, she was part of the Mutant Liberation Front, but she saw some stuff that kind of scared her, and they said that she was reluctant to join. the team. So here she's thanking Cable, saying, thank you for giving me a second chance. And he's saying, you're young, you deserve a life. He's like, you're young, you can change. And she's like, is it bad that, I just want to have a simple life? And he goes, of course not. And of course it is, meaning because of her mutant power. So that's where they part ways with her. Now, Domino, she's perturbed, because if we remember from issue, I think it's 11, where we saw she was being tortured, and we come to find out that the Domino that everyone knew was the copycat, what was her name? Vanessa Carlisle. And Cable says, we need you back. The team's falling apart, and they look up to her. And she's like, how can I do that when the Domino all these kids knew was that scheming metamorph Vanessa Carlisle impersonating you? And Cable snaps back, and I've impersonated a heartless soldier, and Strife has impersonated me. Around here, we're kind of used to that thing. So I'm glad to see Domino back in the fold, and beautiful artwork as she gets out of the car, just irritated that she has to do this. And then there's a follow-up with Teresa and Warpath. He's trying to explain he cares about her, and he's worried about how she's been heavily drinking. Issues that don't really that are not touched on anymore, which, again, the world outside your window. But I like how he says, Terry, I told you that I cared about you because I do. But I want to help you because you need it, not because of what I'll get out of it. You're my friend. I want to see you happy, and you're not, and that tears me up inside. That's true for any relationship. You help people because you care and you see someone's hurting, not because of what you're going to gain out of it. That's not the route to go. So Teresa asks him to come back to Ireland with him so she can get her head straight. And then this is where we kind of get another appearance of Black Tom Cassidy. And you can see he is just one mean mamma jamma. That's why I don't like him in Dawn of X, how they just make him this crazy random person. And I kind of hope that pays off to see why he's not the way he's supposed to be. So we'll see. But I feel sorry for this guy, Michael, I think is his name, because back in Uncanny X-Men, what was it, 102 or 101 at the end, Butler gets strong-armed by Black Tom. Here he is again. And just look at the hulking power of the Juggernaut. Beautiful work here by the art team. And just I like how Cassidy, even though his hands look massively large, just how he's standing there showing the power of his abilities. It's just gorgeous work, and it shows the building up of future plots. Then we jump back to Murder World, and the two teammates finally decide that they're not going to play by Arcade's rules anymore. So they just full on go exploring this Murder World, trying to find Winsong, and some absolutely gorgeous battle scenes ensue. And especially how these two are talking to each other, because Adam X goes, burn! And Shatterstar's like, I too need a short byword with which to call out in battle. How about bleed? Simple, but effective. I like it. And we kind of get to a stalemate. Stalemate's the word I'm looking for, because here again is Winsong. Why is she out of the cage? Read the book. Why is she here? Read the book. And then there's a tell that kind of tips Shatterstar. But what I like here is, check this out. Locke, Ms. Locke, I think's her name, is saying, you guys need to decide. One of you two need to go, or Winsong gets it. And Arcade's saying, I'm on a tight schedule. Kill or be killed. I cannot risk her life any longer. And I do not wish to take yours, Adam. Then what are you going to do? The only a logical avenue left to me. Oh my goodness. Now, of course, we know that he's not going to die. This is comics. Characters either die and come back, or there's, a Deus Ex Machina. So, but still, nonetheless, what he says, very poignant, very hits in the heart of the type of chivalry that Shatterstar has for people. And then I want to end it off with, because remember in issue 29, Richter dropped Shatterstar off to go shopping. Well, here he is to come pick him up after a full day. And the last thing I do want to read to you guys that I thought was very sweet is Richter says, "Oh, lots to talk about, huh? Gonna be a long ride home, I take it," because Shatterstar says, "My day was uneventful." Then he goes, "Actually, Richter, it was rather interesting, if I may tell you about it, and also tell you about my wife." So in 2 issues, we've seen Fabian Nicieza mature Shatterstar. He's starting to understand more of human empathy and apathy and all that good stuff, and still being able to hang on to who he is and how he's able to implement it to where he is now. Same with Adam X. It was just great to see these 2 characters work together. Yes, the extreme, yeah. Nonetheless, very interesting character. Wonderfully written story. Artwork complements it perfectly well. I highly recommend this comic book, guys. Yeah, it's 90s, there's some tropes, so what? At the end of the day, it's a great story, and that's what matters. So if you've enjoyed X-Force number 30, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and pick up a copy. If you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you won't mind hitting that fancy little X bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love hearing your feedback and your thoughts and talking with y'all down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.